Hi, Taurus. This is your energy checkup for the first part of April 2022. And I always start with what is most important, which is what will come through first. So, the first thing I saw was your throat chakra. And your throat chakra is sort of up in this space where your third eye chakra would be, and it's also pretty low on energy. And that's why I'm drawing it kind of a little bit darker. I don't know, it's not low on energy. I don't know why I said that. It's really just like not, it's overworked. It's worked out too hard, and so it's kind of got like some stuck stale energy in there. And the reason that it's sitting in your third eye, well, actually, let me back up. So your throat chakra is responsible for your sense of self, your expression, your sort of ability to express who you are. And what it's telling me, the fact that I see it sort of up here in this third eye chakra space, and the fact that I see it just kind of like, out of energy, is that who you are is you're sort of being who you think people want you to be. So the third eye chakra, people always associate this with intuition, which is true. It is the seat of your intuition. But part of that comes from being connected to this sort of collective mind, right? So sort of all space and time, of all, past, present, future, all being one conglomerate of thoughts, if you could imagine that. That's kind of what your third eye draws from. And so you're kind of drawing things out of like the general collective thought bank, right? And you are building your identity based on that. It feels a little bit like you don't realize why that could hurt, and hurt you, and it feels a little bit like you recognize that you're doing that, and it's kind of pointed, like you're almost like, look, when I am this persona, this identity, people accept me more and I have an easier time. And so that's why I'm doing that. And so as we do things to kind of like feel through this and get these chakras back into alignment, we want to be kind of gentle, because the idea isn't to jolt you into being a completely different person. It's just to start to get you to understand why being what people might want you to be might not work for you in the best way, and how great you are, like seeing the great things about yourself. And so what just came through is to free write a list of all the things you love about yourself. Free write about your good qualities, okay? They don't have to mean anything. They don't have to be tied to anything. You're going to do this for 5 minutes. I feel like it's going to be hard for you because you're really hard on yourself. 5 minutes, 3 times a day. If you can do it, actually just do that. 5 minutes, 3 times a day. Just make a whole list. Everything you like about yourself. Everything that's great about yourself. Everything that you know that's special to you that might be different than other people. Forget about whether or not other people get it, like it, whatever. But there's this sense of like you having this hard exterior, and part of it is what other people think what you think other people want you to be, or what you're supposed to be. And the only thing you're supposed to be is exactly who you are. So part of that and part of it is this kind of rough exterior that you're doing to protect yourself. And so let's talk a little bit about your heart chakra, speaking of tough exteriors and protecting yourself. So your heart chakra is just, you've been through some things, Taurus, and so your heart chakra It's kind of moved over a little bit. You're sort of hiding it a little bit. It's a little bit smaller than what we would see. And it's got some stuck energy in there as well. So it doesn't seem like you've been using it all that much. You've been doing this protective thing with your heart chakra, which I understand. It's so common. So many of us have this representation in our heart chakra because the world can be a tough place right now, and sometimes it's hard to find love in this world. So we're going to leave that alone for right now. I'm going to talk about your crown chakra, which actually looks pretty good, and I can tell that somebody is really like watching out for you. I'm so sorry. Whether you know it or not, you're pretty connected to this angelic spiritual realm, higher power, whatever you consider greater than yourself, and that can even be nature. But I got the sense that there were people kind of like looking out for you, and there was this influx of this crown energy. And so whether you know it or not, somebody or something is kind of watching out for you, even if you consider that to be your higher self. Your root chakra, not surprisingly, has also got some sad stuff going on. Your root chakra is worn out. You can tell you probably have had, or it feels like, haven't had the best of home environments. Your sacral chakra is also kind of worn out, done with, got some stuck energy in there. And your solar plexus chakra, and I'm going to talk more about these. Your solar plexus chakra is also worn out, and not in the way that it has stuck energy. It's got low energy, and it's kind of diffuse energy. So let's kind of start to talk about these things. Your root chakra. This is giving me the feeling of this is giving me the feeling of an unstable home environment in childhood. And I also get the sense that you are blaming yourself, and forgiving yourself would be good. A way you can do this, I would do some elderberry tea, and I would do this in the mornings. I'm not a doctor, by the way. Elderberry, you can overdo elderberry, so find a site that you feel is reputable, or a natural healer, whomever, or whatever, and make sure you're not going too crazy with the elderberry. But I would do an elderberry tea in the morning for 7 days, and not more than 7 days. And then just kind of let things still. I have a feeling for the next 7 days after you do this, you're just going to start feeling things kind of get back online. We want to gently stimulate. For your sacral chakra, because we're doing things to stimulate your root chakra, we're not going to do much for your sacral chakra except drink a lot of water. Twice as much as you normally would if you can. It's one of the easiest ways to get this chakra back online. And by the way, when we are doing things in our lower chakras, especially these three, but starting here, when we get these sort of taken care of and a little bit better, it sort of unkinks, and the energy will start to flow better up into, the rest of these chakras. But for now, just water. The solar plexus chakra, let's just give this a break, just because I feel like you have been on the grind all the time, like your whole life, and it does feel related to this root chakra. It feels like you've just had to keep going. You're like, people might say, you're the hardest working person I know, or how do you do it? And you're like, it's survival. I'm in survival mode. And we could, this guy can definitely use a break, but as we start with our root chakra, get a little water into our sacral chakra, this solar plexus chakra, this doing, this ego will start to be better. So not only will you feel a little bit less overworked, and you should find a better balance, naturally between work and relaxation. I think it's also going to help, since this is the seat of your ego, it's also going to help with just this, not being so hard on yourself, because I just get the sense that you are being very hard on yourself. Same with your heart chakra. We're just going to leave this alone for right now. You could. It's coming up on a new moon in a few days. Once the moon gets like about a week after the new moon, you could just do some moon bathing, meaning sit outside when the moon is out. And that'll help give you a little bit of nurturing energy into this chakra and this chakra. And it's something really easy that you can do. And that's the only thing I'm getting really strongly that you can do for those two. For the throat chakra, free writing, again, about how great you are. You're going to write your good qualities, the things you love about yourself, and that's going to help move your throat chakra back down to where it is, and it's going to start stimulating some good, healthy energy back in there. Nothing you need to do with your third eye chakra right now because we got a lot of other stuff going on, and it's one of those that responds really well to what goes on with everything else. Your crown chakra looks great. Somebody's looking out for you, somebody or something. So these are several things. You may choose to do all of them. Some of them or one may resonate with you more than another. And so, because this is not a personalized reading, it's a general reading, don't overthink it. If one of these things sounds like it's not going to work for you, you're probably right. You know you better than anybody else. And so do what resonates with you, and then the rest you can just kind of, whoops, I don't know what that was about, Taurus. The rest of it you can just kind of let go. Thanks, Taurus.